are the Honeywell
Heroes, and I'm Random Tanner here with JP Stenda and Mr. Scott Madison, a.k.a. the mayor. Boom.
Thank you. Thank
Wow.
you.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I think Tanner, you need to clap with me. Let's go. Come on. Wow. How did we even get this guy in here?
Episode 12.
Yep.
We're already on 12 episodes, JP. What do you think about that?
I'm feeling like I don't know. I feel like
Are
I'm
you
at
getting ready to
Honeywell.
retire or what?
Yeah.
How's your retirement package looking from Honeywell here?
Well, you know, the problem is that they won't pay me out for all the unused sick time. So I'm trying to work out a benefits package where they at least comp me some of the time that I never called in.
Let me tell you something. We got a couple $100 in the account, so
Okay.
however far we can stretch that. Maybe you want to go to the casino, put it all on the
Blackjack.
yeah, okay.
Roulette.
Yeah, just all on red.
I
Double
like
it, double it up, and we're good to go, baby.
Hey, you know what? We got a sponsorship to start off before we introduce our guest. And you know who that is.
I do know who that is.
Who is it?
It's First Choice Insurance for all your home, auto, and life insurance needs. 410 South 2nd Street. You can call Andrew Wood at 563-241-2341. Again, 563-241-2341 for all your home, life, auto, business, and much more. First Choice Insurance.
Get there,
Dun,
or I will hunt you down.
We're going to hunt you down like a wild hyena.
We got the mayor, Scott Madison. I don't think you really even need an introduction, but this is Scott Madison, the mayor of Clinton, Iowa. Why don't you tell us about you? Tell us about being the mayor. What's a typical day in the life of the mayor in Clinton, Iowa?
Wow.
Hopefully it starts with a little toothbrush in action or something.
Okay, well, we're not talking about that specific.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a typical day, it kind of depends on what day it is. Some days, I have a full-time job as well.
Okay.
So I work at the credit union, and I do that. But a typical day is, I'm usually in emails in the morning, kind of checking stuff, getting prepared for any meetings that I have that day. A lot of answering phone calls, answering emails from citizens and things like that. So it's kind of not the same every single day,
Right.
but kind of the same type of stuff. So, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
Good.
I bet you do. Does Random ever send you like emails and you just get tired of responding to him about?
He has my phone number, so I just get texts from him,
Does he complain about? Oh, hold on. I want to ask. Does he ever
Go
complain
ahead.
about people speeding up his street? 16th Street Northwest. He's probably like, you need to call the police department and tell them to extra patrol my
Do
street
they do
because
that?
they're speeding.
Do they speed up there?
No.
Okay.
Oh, he complains all the time.
I don't know what JP is talking about.
He complains all the time.
No, I haven't got any complaints from Tanner.
I think
Not
Brandon
yet.
Hayden speeds a lot.
He probably does.
No,
yeah.
just kidding.
We could dock his sick time.
Yeah. You know what's funny, dude? You know how many people come to my house thinking it's his and vice versa? It's actually awkward.
They're kind of similar.
They're very similar.
The way they
and,
look.
And I have a gray truck now too, so it doesn't help. And I have a sticker on the back, just like he does.
Oh wow.
Some lady, I got home the other night, and I got Sonny out of the back of the truck, and I was walking up, and like I saw this lady sitting out front of my house, and she gets out, and she's holding like a bag, and she's walking up my driveway like kind of next to me, but behind me, and I'm like looking at her, and I'm still walking. I'm like, is this lady gonna say anything? Like it was awkward, and I'm like, hi, and she's like, hi, and she's like, this isn't Brandon's house, is it? I'm like, no, because I thought like maybe Liz bought something and this lady's dropping it off, and she's like, oh my god, I feel so stupid. She's like, and I was wondering why you had a girl in your hands. I thought you were Brandon. So yeah, awkward.
I
Funny
guess
story.
it'd be okay if it was like pizza that was already paid for.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, I'm
I'd be
Brandon.
like, yes,
Yeah, I'm Brandon.
this is that
Yeah, I'll
house.
take it. And you know he's taking that if he can get free pizza.
Oh, Brandon wouldn't. He'd bring it over.
I would have
you would?
Tanner might take it, but
No, yeah.
Brandon
I was
would
gonna
bring
say
it back.
Tanner's like,
I would
yeah.
eat a few slices and bring it back down. I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Why is there no toppings on this pizza?
Scraping it off with his hands. Yeah, I know. I've been there before.
No, you haven't.
I have at times when I probably was under the influence of
Yeah.
alcoholic beverages.
Right.
But
And it was like 3 a.m. and you woke up. Yeah.
you wake up in the middle of the night and you're hungry and you can't grab the pizza. And
Hey, it happens. It's part of life. Okay.
it is. It is. Wow. Okay. So we've got the day in the life. So, I mean, what's the day in the life
That's
for
all.
Random Tanner?
Do you ever have Dunkin' Donuts, dude? Because you stare at it all day long.
You actually don't go over that often.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
no,
when I lived right there, I didn't either, actually, surprisingly. So.
I'm not a big coffee person,
Oh,
so
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be a good cop then. Or donuts, huh? You didn't go like, it ain't really that funny. You know how many people say something?
Oh, man.
I bet you like donuts. I'm like, oh, actually, I don't, but okay. Like, it's like the stereotype, like with anything that people put it with. I'm always like, you know what? I don't even drink coffee.
Yeah.
In my whole life, I don't drink it.
I've kind of an addictive personality, so I'm afraid if I get into coffee, my bank account will just be like,
Oh, dude, it's expensive
boom,
too.
boom.
Man.
Yeah,
It's
so-
crazy.
I try to just stay away from it if I can.
Yeah, I feel that.
Stay with the Folgers. Folgers, it's
Yeah.
cheap. You don't
Yeah.
have to go to pay.
I'm naturally high energy though.
Yeah.
So I don't need
Can you
caffeine to
imagine?
help.
You'd be hanging out the window at the credit union, like, "Hey, hurry, pull up."
Be outside with a sign spinning it.
You'd be that guy. Oh my god,
I
Yeah.
love it.
that's great.
Honeywell story. So I got a couple things that I want to tie with Mayor Madison, but we're going to kick off with that. So whoever wants to go first, you got the floor. But it doesn't have to be necessarily, we'll say Honeywell story, a playing story when you were an athlete at any level, or if you were coaching. Doesn't matter. But whatever you guys got, give me something.
How about you kick it off? You always make us kick it off. I want to hear you kick it off, bro.
I don't know if you want this story.
I do. Let's go.
All right, real quick.
Get me brewing.
Junior year, okay?
Yeah.
I'm coming out of track practice, going into baseball. You know how they overlapped, kind of for that couple weeks in May. I forget. I'm getting ready to go over to Westfield for baseball, and I forget all of my baseball gear, my cleats, everything.
Yep.
So I jump in my Beretta, and I'm flying home. So I'm on the south end. I live down Buell Avenue, which is off of Main and 9th or whatever. And I think I'm home free, and I get on North 3rd Street, right before Horace Mann, and I look up, you know where Gertie's Auto is now?
Yeah.
At that time, it was the old Quick Star. Remember the old Quick Star that was there?
Was it there?
That's where Gertie's now.
Oh yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah,
Quick
yeah.
Star.
You're right. Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to turn up. I was going to just one block to 23rd North because that's how I get to Buell. And I'm like, I look up, I see these lights flashing in the dashboard. I'm like, oh man. And it's a marked unit from Clinton PD. So I knew I was probably going like at least 50 miles an hour. It's like 25 the whole time. So he like the guy that comes up, and I know, and I'll even say his name here in a minute, but he comes up, he gives me, kind of gives me like the come to Jesus, and I'm like, oh man. So I'm pulled over, and traffic is backing up both ways, and everyone, because at that time everyone's like driving by and they're like looking. Well, I had the Nokia cell phone then, and I had people texting me, "Whoa, what'd you get pulled over for?" And I remember he comes up, he writes me. So I was going 60 in a 25. He told me, he's like, I had you at 60 and 25, and he was kind of just giving me the business, and I'm like, hey, I'm late, hey, and he wrote me for 40 and a 25, and back then the ticket was like $70. Like now it's like 2.5, 3 times that. Mm-hmm. But I remember getting that, and I remember it was Sarah Wenzel drove past, and she texted me, and I remember my Nokia phone because that was like when you had to pay like 10 cents for a text message. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I remember paying that. I remember getting that ticket because that was like the second one I got. But yeah, and the guy was his name was Terry St. Ors. He was a sergeant with Clint PD, which I actually was just talking to him tonight, and I brought that story up to him before, and he's like, I don't remember that. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm telling you, man, I was just high ducking it, and I thought I'm home free, and sure enough, they got me, man. And I was like, so that was my story. I just feel like back in the day, like it was fun. I remember having to tell my mom about it, and she's like, well, how are you going to pay for it? I'm like, I'll use my Hy-Vee money. Or I was working at the car wash then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
When
making
you used to give me
$5.65.
free car washes
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. So that's my story. But yeah, that's how I'm kicking it off. So you guys
All
go
right.
now.
I'll get it rolling. So I don't know if I told the story on the podcast, dude. I'm losing my mind. But anyways, it was pony baseball. I was up to bat playing on the White Sox. And I think it was the second year because, the older guys were gone at that point. Anyway, so we were playing the Braves, and Justin Farr was pitching. Did I tell this story?
No, you didn't.
Okay. I know I've talked about it a lot. But anyway, so Justin Farr was pitching, and they decided to intentionally walk me, and it was tied. It was like the last inning, bottom of the last inning. I can't remember what inning it was, but we were tied up, and they didn't want to pitch to me. So they intentionally walked me. So I ran to first, just kept running. He tried to throw it to first because I kind of like faked him out. And the first baseman missed it. I ran all the way to third. They launched it over to the third to try to get me out. He missed it, and I scored, and we walked off. So we walked it off on an intentional walk. Kind of cool.
At Pony.
At Pony, yeah. And I was really fast.
You could move back then.
Yeah. I really couldn't.
You can move now.
Yeah. I'm way more agile now.
Why? Here's the thing. If they were smart, they scouted you, they'd throw the ball outside corner on you.
Wow. So you scouted me. You must.
Oh, you know where you throw the ball. You throw the ball away. You didn't want it because you were a dead pull hitter.
Mm-hmm.
If it was middle of the plate,
Still is.
I probably
is that how he still
Still
is?
I'd probably look back at the ump and argue, right? If he called a strike on me.
No, no, you wouldn't do that. No.
I don't
But
do that.
you didn't like. I do remember baseball. You were not. If it was middle or in, you could turn on it. It was going to go a long ways. But if you threw it away, you weren't swinging at it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Well,
he's
yeah,
like,
he
that-
should have. They intentionally walked me and walked it off.
man. So they blew that.
I remember
one.
Justin was crying, dude, and we were. Now the whole team probably was. It's all right. But it was fun. That was a good memory for me. Probably not for him, but pretty funny.
So he's still a middle guy then, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he likes to pull.
Does he? Or he still likes to pull it?
He's a
yeah.
pull hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Ryan Clausen. If you ever, and you probably never saw him play baseball, but he was the same way.
If he umped us, he saw us.
I umped for Ryan.
Okay.
He's catcher.
Yes.
He used to talk to everybody and be like, "Hey, what'd you have for breakfast?"
Yeah.
Yeah, he did do that.
he
Cra-
would.
I'm sitting back there just cracking up, like, I'll allow it.
He used to do that to
He
me when we played
did.
him. I'd get so mad, I'd be like, dude, stop, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like shut up, man. He did do that, but he was always a dead pull. I don't think I ever saw him hit the ball to the opposite side of the field.
Who, Ryan?
Yeah, even in high school.
Yeah,
no. Dead pull hitter. All day
He
long.
was too, like, jacked. Anyway, Scott, I know you got a cool story.
You got to have something.
I'm going to give you a Honeywell story.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
it.
All right. So I
Who'd
was
you play for first?
I was in the Pirate Dynasty.
Okay.
That was
Ooh.
back when you got drafted in Pee Wee and you
Stayed.
played all the way through, right?
Yep.
So Denny Sander drafted me. Yeah, I lived by Jordan Sander, a block or
Yep.
so away. So Denny drafted me. So went into Pee Wees. Obviously, we won 3 city championships. Got second place one year, so not too terrible. Eric Helwig was a dominant pitcher, and he killed us.
He threw smoke.
He killed us that one year.
Did
and
he?
We got second that
Threw
year.
smoke
He
in high school, too.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. But anyway, my favorite memory was my parents came to most of my games. My dad coached most of the time and everything, and I can remember what was going on. But we were playing a team that we were going to demolish. Wasn't a big deal. So my parents were like, "Hey, we're going to go get the boat ready. We're going to get on the river this weekend. So we'll be late to your game." And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever, And sure enough, my first at bat, I get up there and get a hold of one. We're on I guess it would be the North Field, the National League side back then. So the major
that's-
field.
Yes.
That's
Major-
field 6. then.
Yeah, field 6 over there. So
Yep.
got a hold of one, a laser out there to left field, hit the building.
No
Right?
way.
That little brown
Was that
building
your
out
first
there.
home run?
My first home
And
run.
your parents were not
ever.
there?
My parents weren't there.
Oh, no.
So I'm pumped, because I think it was Dave Ward or someone was at first and doing the thing, and he's like, "It's out of here," and I'm thinking like, "Yeah!" So I start doing my home run trot, and I'm trotting real slow, and I get to third base, and Jim Connell was our coach, and he's on there, and he just gives me a swift kick in the ass, like, "We don't have all day." So.
Did he really?
Celebrate later.
Yep. So I went in there, got there, absolutely pumped about it. We ended up winning the game 1-0 on a team that we should have murdered.
Because of you?
And my parents didn't see that.
It was the go-ahead home run.
It was the go-ahead home run in the first inning.
Solo
So,
shot, dude, for the
yep.
dub.
Yep. And that was the only home run I ever hit in Little League.
Really?
The only one. Yep.
Did you ever hit any like in pony or anything?
No, I didn't. I had some in the Parkers. I was actually fast back then too, kind of like you.
Yeah. No. You were probably actually fast.
Yeah, but no. So I had a couple of those, but I never. That was the only one I hit over the fence. So I got the fence a couple times, but that was the one time I was able to get it over there. So that's my favorite memory, even though my parents didn't get to see it, but that's all right.
Well, you get to tell the best thing about that is you can tell them different versions all the time.
Oh yeah,
and
actually.
they're like, "Man, I can't believe I missed that." You're
I
like, "Yeah."
actually still bring it up. I'm like, "Hey, remember the time you missed my home run?" And my dad's like, "I know, I'm sorry." You can ask him too. It's a true story. I bring it up all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I need to guilt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna miss out on this like you did my home run, huh? Cool, Dad.
Yep.
That's what I expect.
So yeah, that's my favorite story from that.
That's cool.
that
That's cool
era.
that you can, and it's cool, like I said, just the reminiscent part. I think it's great to hear everybody else have the same.
Yeah, I had to bunt a lot. So
Did you?
I didn't get it. Yeah. So that
I could
was-
bet you could run because your brother did he? I don't remember him in playing Honeywell.
Who, Nate?
Nate.
Yeah.
He didn't.
I didn't think Nate
He
did.
He played 1 year in Pee Wee, and he got hit in the mouth with a bat or something like that when he was on deck.
Okay.
And then he didn't play. He got smoked in the eye with a baseball at one of my practices too. We were at Iton Field, which is now that parking lot by Clinton High.
Yep.
And he was shagging balls for us, and somebody I don't even know how he pulled it as far as he did, and my brother. Boom! Straight to his eye. I think he still has a little scar
Does
there
he?
from it.
Wow.
Yeah. So he got pulverized by baseball a little
Did he?
bit and didn't play.
So did he ever play again?
No.
Yeah.
He
He's
played-
actually pretty good at softball for never playing baseball.
Yeah, no, he's a really good athlete,
Yeah,
and he
that's
just
crazy.
I don't know, he tried some stuff here and there, but that was
Yeah.
about it. So
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what was your guys' favorite all sport flavor? We're gonna go with that. I know that's a throwback. That's a CJB thing.
I'm always a fruit punch guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think I was always yellow. I don't know why. I like the yellow.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I think those were the fruit punch or the yellow. Like I said, that it's kind of like when you say Gatorade. I just think of the lime Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think of that and
Yeah.
I think all sport was a little more sugary. Like it was real like.
Carbonated.
Was it?
It was carbonated, I think, wasn't it?
I think it was.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it was
I think
very.
you're right.
It
I
was
think you're
carbonated.
right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
They still sell it?
I think it came back again, but I don't think it's carbonated.
Can you get on
anymore.
Amazon and
Probably.
Oh, I'm sure you probably could. I'm sure you could.
Get you a
Get
case.
yourself a
probably
case of
you probably get a case from '94 still.
Yeah, 1994. Yeah, packaged
You
up.
want one of the original?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like
Yeah.
what's the not all sport. What was I thinking of earlier? Man, now it's gonna drive me nuts.
No, it just shows up body. Well,
Oh, Surge. You guys remember Surge?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a guy that I work with, and he loves Surge, but they don't sell it anymore.
Well, they came back again, so I think they do.
No, it's not.
It came back and then it left.
Yeah, and then it's gone.
Oh.
So he would
Excuse
he
me.
was so upset it was discontinued, and we looked online, and you can buy it like 2 cans for like $100.
Oh.
Or it's crazy. And I was gonna buy it for Christmas for him, but I'm like, it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
like it's not worth it. And he's like, he would drink them like 1 or 2 every shift, and he's like in his mid-50s or whatever. But I remember I asked him one time, I was like, why'd you stop drinking that? And he's like, well, they discontinued it. And we're looking online. I'm like, there was like somewhere you could buy a 4-pack. It was like $250.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Like, no way.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I had a Fresca the other day.
Oh, yeah, that's total old school.
I went to a meeting down at the chamber, and they had Fresca. I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, that you
Right.
talk about. That's old
That's
school.
like my
for
grandma
sure.
used to have that. I think.
Yes.
So All Sport was purchased in 2007 from Monarch, and it says it's now non-carbonated, but it's not even. They must have already discontinued it since then. So interesting.
Man, old school, baby. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So, like, let's take back. We're on the throwbacks, and then we'll kind of move on. But so, just something for you guys, like a random. I know we did this last week. A random, like, favorite, whether it's a movie, TV show, or something you guys remember as a kid while you were in school. You know, here in Clinton, growing up. Like, what's something that takes you back? That something you remember you did. You know, that was just kind of nostalgic.
From what? Just back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, can be anything.
Well,
like
I
said.
remember in kindergarten, dude. It was finally my day to do some show and tell, because we all did that. And I brought my remote control. It was like a dinosaur RC car, dude. And he shot he shot water out of his mouth. And I thought I was the man. Everybody lined up on the blue carpet in a circle, and I was, squirting everybody with it. Yeah, that's my memory, dude. How cool was I?
Wow. What grade was this?
Kindergarten.
Oh,
Show and
wow.
tell, dude. Brought my RC.
Man, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Jeez. And you went to where?
Elijah Buell. Mrs. Reinders was my teacher.
Okay. Where'd you go to school at?
I went to Prince of Peace until high school. And then
You did?
Then I went to Clinton High. Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep. And then when I switched my brother Nate went to Washington. When I
Yep.
went to Clinton High, he went to Washington, and then Eric went to the Clinton schools the whole way through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Eric, he's quite a bit younger than us.
He's 10 years younger than me. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, he's like about 6 or 7. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So what do you got? Like, what's something you remember just as a kid growing up, or like I said, TV show, or just something you did that you know?
Well, TV show, random will respect this. I used to get home from school every single day that I didn't have practice or whatever to watch TRL on MTV.
Ooh, yeah. Same.
I love
that was such a good show.
I love TRL. Yeah. So that was one thing that I always watched because I wanted to see the new songs coming out. You know.
Yeah, that was the first place to see him back then.
Yeah, I remember the world premiere of Limp Bizkit Nookie.
Really?
Yeah. I remember I'm getting that album, and all that stuff. So that was one thing that I did a lot when I was younger. Is came home to watch that.
Dude, how cool would it have been to actually go there back when it was a thing and be like, how the people used to stand out on the sidewalk and watch it? That would have been so cool to do that.
Yeah.
I was way too little, but
Still though.
maybe not little, young, but not little.
Yeah, I don't even know when it stopped. But back when Carson Daly, the original VJ on there.
That was I think they tried to bring it back or maybe talked about bringing it back, but it can never be the same just because of how the world is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff on there that was on MTV that would never even you could even
because you can hop, but I guess my point was music wise, you can just hop on YouTube or wherever back then you literally had to see it on the TV or the radio, hear it on the radio.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You couldn't go online and watch videos.
Right.
You could download from Napster or something, but that was about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Napster and what was it LimeWire
and Kazaa or Kaza, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. I can't really think of. I just think of why do I remember Mr. Movies?
Yeah.
So I lived there right there, obviously on Beale, which was probably 5 or 6 blocks. I just loved. I would ride my bike there, especially in the summer, and I had an Nintendo 64, and I just remember would go there, get the game, and then they always had the candy, and it was always cookie dough candy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I would get that, and I
always got the Butterfinger bites. Or whatever.
Yeah. You remember that they always had it right there, and you went and picked up the game or movie, brought it up there, and they'd be like, "Hey, you didn't return this one from a week ago, so you owe $1.50 in the fee or whatever." And I don't know that was something I always every time I drive by it when I'm back, even today when I was always when I get back town, I just drive around for a little bit, and I drive by there. I'm like, man, it just takes me back, even though it was 25 years ago.
Yeah,
just a long time where I'm like, wow, dude. There was a lot of good things about Clinton. I think growing up as a kid. I don't know what you guys think, but I think there still is.
But it also felt a lot bigger back then because we were little. It's crazy how things changed.
Oh yeah. You're not lying about that. All right, I'm just gonna throw it here. So, you're in elementary school. What is your favorite item on the lunch menu? We just got to do it, and then we'll be done with the nostalgia stuff. But I just got to do it because we're all
of course, dude.
Here.
My favorite thing was the nachos with meat sauce. What a weird name for that, but the little white. I don't know if you guys remember it, but the meat. Is that what they call it? Meat sauce? I think so.
Whatever it is. They came in those little flimsy.
The little white paper things. Cups. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I got you. What about you?
What about you, Mayor?
I would have to go with those rectangle pieces of pizza.
Yeah,
we were talking about it earlier.
We
so good.
We'd be in the morning who wants an extra slice?
Yeah.
pay your money
for that one. Yeah.
You get your little ticket, so you get. I got an extra slice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Man, that is you talk about that is original.
I remember. What about you?
I can't go against that. I think we were talking about that. Yeah. That was what? You want me another piece? People would fight each other to get up to that line to get a second piece if they were going to.
You remember if they would read the lunch what was for lunch for the day and they'd be like ribette on a bun. Everybody'd be like, oh.
Yeah, they hated it.
Yeah,
because nobody liked that. It was terrible.
Or if it was chicken nuggets, everybody would cheer yes, we get chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes.
Now it's they get a Golden Corral buffet at school. It's man, you guys are lucky.
I like the Wiener Winks too. Did you have those?
Yep.
Piece of bread with the hot dog and the cheese in it.
Yeah.
And
what about the chili con carne? Chili con carne. Everybody hated that, but I liked it. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. It was interesting. I think it was chili with a peanut butter sandwich or something. So weird.
I don't know if they still do it, but in middle school at Prince Peace, they had like every day they ordered from places. Like Monday was Wendy's, the next day
that's
was
sweet.
Pizza Hut.
We never had that.
Then it was this, and like
Yep.
it was. It'd be like he'd get up to the thing, and they're like, okay, in Madison, you had five-piece chicken nuggets. Yep.
Mom, I'm out of lunch money already.
Yeah. Ain't got none left.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we had-
you had to order the week before for the next
that's
week.
really-
Yeah, it was crazy.
We had like Pizza Hut on Mondays or something, didn't we? Or pizza. It was something like that.
I feel like that was middle school.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you guys. Okay, my bad. I was thinking. Yeah, we
I
had like Happy
transitioned.
Joe's. Okay, so yeah, you're right. Yeah, Happy Joe's, Pizza Hut. They switched it up.
Yep.
Yeah, that was such a, like I said, that era, man. You can't go wrong with that era.
Yeah, dude.
But like I said, now it's so. You talk about being spoiled, which is a good thing, but it could probably also be a bad thing, because like we didn't have.
I'm
a
curious,
lot of choices.
I'm curious, like when not our kids, but yeah, I guess my kids, our kids. Sten ain't got none. He might soon. Who knows?
No.
But like when they get older, if they're gonna like value their childhood as much as we do, I'm curious. So I'm gonna ask them. I'm like,
Hope
hey,
so.
one time I did a podcast and I thought this. So when I'm old and gray or grayer, I should say.
Yeah, you gray hair
Yeah.
because you got grays
Yeah, lots.
in your hair. See, I just got in my beard,
Yeah.
but that's all right, man. I'm good with it. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good in the neighborhood. So, Scott, got a question for you, man.
All right.
What song is playing in your car right now?
Oh,
What song is playing in my
cannot
car
lie
right
either.
now?
I mean, maybe not literally, but like if you had popped in there and had a choice, what song?
You know what? It's different. What song was I playing today a lot?
Sure. Yeah.
I was at the gym this morning and Icky Thump came on by the White Stripes.
Okay.
I played it like 4 times this morning.
Just over and over.
I don't know, the guitar solo was just hitting right this morning, so I
Yeah.
just
Hey,
kept
you
playing it.
You got to go with what hits right, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you another one then.
All right.
A follow up.
Okay.
What was your favorite song to play? Now, what I mean by that is when you were a musician. What was your favorite?
When
song?
I was a musician.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, he was. Did you have an album out too? Yeah. You did?
I put 6 songs together.
Yeah.
They're terrible, but that's okay.
Do you,
Can we
do you,
find-
do
can
you
you
have any
find 'em?
copies?
I do.
Oh,
I
man.
have some unwrapped copies.
Oh,
Yeah.
How much do they cost?
Oh, I mean,
A lot.
I'm
You
not,
just said-
I'm not selling them. I guess you could. There's some people that have them out there.
Fine.
You know. No. My favorite song to play when I was out playing was Wonderwall.
That's a
Oh,
good
by
one.
Oasis.
Oh yeah.
Me and
I mean,
Cindy can sing that real good.
Yeah, that was my favorite song to play when I was out places, just because I don't know, when that song first came out, that was like
Dude, it was such a good song.
just hit me.
The melody and the
Yeah.
everything. It was good.
No,
Yeah.
it was good.
And
It
sorry,
was.
you know what? If you were a musician, you're always a musician. So I apologize.
I just got asked to play in a band the other day. So
Really?
Yeah.
You want to start a band?
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Stenda, you can play the banjo.
I could just sit there.
He can
Stay in there.
he can book the shows.
Yeah.
there we go. Put a little
I'll be
earpiece in.
security.
Yeah.
I'll be security.
There you go.
Be like, hey.
Yeah, no, that
You could jump around on stage firing your gun up in the ceiling.
it's been a long time since
Man.
I played in front of anybody.
Boom.
Has it? How long?
Oh, I would say 12 years.
Wow. Yeah, that is a long time.
12 years.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
those are good questions.
there's always first weekend of June.
No, I can't do that.
I know.
Can you imagine what people
Yeah,
would say if
I
I
know.
did that?
They're like, oh, we know why he booked this now.
We spent $3 million so that he could go up there.
He can make a comeback.
Yeah.
You're actually headlining.
No, those guys would throw me off stage. They'd be like, "What are you doing, man?"
That's great. Oh, man.
No.
No, I know.
So since we're kind of still on the old school stuff, when you guys remember at Clint High, like the parking was way different when we were there.
Yeah.
Where did you guys park at? If you can remember.
I always parked on 7th Avenue South, like maybe the 800 block.
Yep, that's where I was at.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was driving by the other day. I'm like, there are no cars. I'm like,
Because they got way more parking now.
and I was like, man, I remember when my car got hit by that drunk driver?
Yeah.
And I came out, and I was like, I got done with basketball practice, and I parked in the 800 block of 7th Avenue South every day.
Yeah.
I had to make that walk, and I'm pulling up, and my car is like angled, and then there's a Clinton PD officer, and he's like, "Hey, is this your car?" I'm like, yeah, it's my car, dude. And
What
he's
car
like,
was it? The Beretta?
I had the Beretta.
Wow.
I had one of those.
Did you have a Beretta?
Did you really?
Oh, we all three
We
had
all-
Berettas.
I had a white one.
Red.
Red,
I got it in
and I had
teal.
green teal, yeah.
Can you imagine we all had them still?
Oh,
Two-door?
man.
Two-door or four-door?
Two-door.
That's two-door.
Two-door.
Mine's two.
Well,
Yeah.
ours were all, I think two-door is kind of the
I guess
way.
the four-door was a Corsica.
Yeah.
call
Yeah,
it
the old
something different.
Corsicas.
The
Yeah.
Beretta boys, man.
Man.
I remember my parents' friends won the car at Riverboat Days. No BS.
way.
They won it there. They put 10,000 miles on it, 20,000 miles on it, and I was getting ready to turn 16, and I'm thinking my parents were going to give me the Chrysler minivan, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I got a job, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. And they're like, well, you can pay for a car. And they said you can pay for a car, right? They picked it. I didn't want the Beretta. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I want something else. They're like, nope, this is your car, and you're going to pay for it. Happy.
Oh,
Wow,
man,
really?
They got you on
Yep.
that.
So
That's
sign the
funny.
loan papers. Let's go.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's
but
great.
It lasted me, my brother Nate, and then my uncle drove it until there was literally holes in the floor, like you could see the road when you were
Really?
driving. Yeah.
Maybe I remember Nate driving it.
I'm trying to think back to him.
The red. Yep. Yeah.
Maybe he did.
That's cool.
He had to buy it from me.
Did he? He made him buy it.
My
too?
parents did. They were like, all right, this is not terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Man.
But I think I parked in the back,
Back lot.
to answer your question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I was back there.
I know it's kind of a dumb question, but
No.
it's changed. Like I said, seeing
Yeah.
going through there, it's like, wow.
What side of
man.
the street did you park on? I was always on like the Clinton High side, like
The
closer
Clinton
to
High
Clinton. Yeah, we must have parked by each other all the time.
I know, because like if you got there late, like, well, the reason why I only started parking there is because I used to get all the parking tickets in the lot. I got those.
Why? Because you didn't pay for the
'cause you
parking.
gotta pay the yeah.
You just parked. There.
Oh yeah, I would get them, and I used to have to go to Coach Bloom when he became the principal, associate principal. And I, after junior year of football, I remember senior year, I went to him. I was like, "Hey, I got like 9 tickets," and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I have 9 tickets." And at that time, they were like $10 or $15 a piece, and I'd be like, "Can you help me?" And he'd be like I'd give them to him, like, "Could you help me?" He'd be like, "I'll help you out." Because I was like, "Bro, I ain't got that money. I make $5 an hour at Hy-Vee, man. How am I gonna pay these tickets off, dude?
Right.
Like, come on, man."
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Okay, that I won't go any. Yeah,
So when your car got hit, did you have insurance?
yeah, I did. But yeah, I was gonna say. So he goes, "Hey, is this your car?" I go, "Yeah." And the guy across the street had this old, crappy brown van,
Yeah.
and he smoked it. Hit my car, went up over the curb, and the lady stayed there because she watched it. She was behind my car,
Right.
in her car. He goes inside the house, so I'm staying outside my basketball gear. It's cold, and this officer, I can't remember, it was Clarence Henry, I think, and he passed away. I don't know, probably before you were the mayor. Yeah, he was an officer for a lot of years for Clinton, and he was like, "Hey, this your car?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he went to this guy's house. He's pounding on the door, pounding on the windows. Finally gets to come out. He takes him into custody. This guy
Wow.
was ham-boned, slammed into my car, took just the trunk is donezo. The bumper is. And I remember getting an estimate for it, and it was definitely way more than what the car was worth. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm taking that money, man. Like, heck yeah, bro. Like, let's go." But I remember parking there, and yeah, that was I hated walking, but still fun.
Well, hey, in case that happens to anybody else, you know what you got to do. Hit up First Choice Insurance for all your home,
Yes.
auto, and life insurance needs. 410 South 2nd Street, 563-241-2341. Hit up Andy Wood. He's the man. He's got you. Whether you need home, life, auto, business, or whatever. Ain't that right, JP?
You're right, and we've got to get down there, and I need some better car insurance. So
Yeah.
we're gonna head
I
up.
thought you were supposed to meet up with
No,
him or
I
something.
haven't, but I will.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Fair enough. I'm not worrying.
Got a lot of things going on with my 7 kids, and yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I don't have any kids. But
Yeah, we know.
Podcast groupies.
yeah, oh yeah, they're all over the place.
They're actually waiting outside, banging on the door.
Guys, please leave. I'm just trying to tell them to leave.
Trying to get that autograph,
Yeah.
man.
All right, so I'm gonna start with a question here. So, how many kids do you have?
2,
You have 2 kids. What
Yeah.
are the ages?
2.5 and 4 months.
Oh, so super young.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't like started getting like coaching or anything like that with them.
No. Nope.
So this is actually a good question for both, geared for both of you guys. But would you tell me this: coaching your kid versus not coaching your kid? I guess you could say pros and cons, but what do you prefer? I mean, when you get to that point, you know.
It just depends probably on who or what. I like coaching Jada more than I liked coaching Aiden because Aiden, there was like better options for Aiden, I feel like. And I was like, I just know, like, I don't know. I'm kind of being like biased because it's me, but I feel like I know how to coach Jada and like, I don't know. I don't even know why. I just think that.
Yeah.
There's really no reason behind it, I guess, but yeah. And you coached, right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
coached at Prince Peace.
I did Prince Peace and Northeast.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Did
Actually,
you, what was it? Varsity?
My first coaching job was 8th grade assistant at Washington.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. Coach Austin needed some help. He had like 40 kids, so I got out of the military, so I helped. But yeah,
That's cool.
you know, I haven't got to the point to coach my kids yet or have that, but I coached varsity for a long time, and
What was it? Varsity what?
varsity basketball.
Okay.
I did
Boys?
I did boys as an assistant, girls as a head coach.
Okay, yeah.
So total of about 10 years with
nice.
varsity. So my thing is I would like to be the parent and be supportive.
Yeah.
And be that guy that says, "Hey man, this is what coach wants you to do. You got to do, versus
That's
being
good.
versus being the coach."
Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to end up coaching my kids most likely. But I want to find a way to be that parent that's not the coach, that's
Yeah.
supportive. So like even if the game, you treat everybody the same during the game, but game's over and you get in the car and you go home and you're the parent.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can balance that, but
It's hard. That's the only like con to that is like you said, after the game over we get in the car and like it's like Jada wanted it to be over and I kind of wanted to talk about it. It would depend on how it went. Like if it was a bad game, she's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Like I do, but then it's like, okay, it's where do you draw the line of like parent and coach and
yeah.
so
I just, I saw some kids over the years that got discouraged a little bit about about basketball because that's what I was coaching because parents were a little more aggressive than maybe they should be, and I also, my dad said this. It's like, well, your dad's not the coach and your dad's not setting the game plans, and this is why we do this. So, I just don't want to be that guy that's contradicting what's trying to happen out there.
Yeah.
that makes sense. I wish all parents were like that. And you can always tell the parents that are telling their kids like, don't listen to your coach, listen to me, because if they do something wrong, they'll look in the stands, at their parents.
Oh,
and
Yeah.
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Well, we have people that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, stop looking at them. Just pay attention to the coach.
I mean, you talk about that's like the real big disconnect, and it's actually the disconnect for why programs aren't successful, because you do. I feel like now that's way more common where you do have the parents saying, "Don't listen to them." Oh, this is living the dream through your kid or whatever it is, and that's why these programs aren't successful.
Yeah.
I mean, the buy-in has to be from everybody.
Yep.
I mean, would you agree? Like, it's not the number one. You have the buy-in from the coaches, the players, and the parents. And if you don't have the buy-in from all three of them, it's super hard to be successful.
What do you think? Where does it start? Where does the most important buy-in? Coach, player, or parent?
I'll tell you this.
Don't you think it's a equal balance?
I mean, I would think the coaches bought into their program.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
So
That's not parent or kid.
I think sometimes, from my experience, the parent buy-in is more important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because kind of let your kid play.
A parent is hopefully in a positive way is the most influential person in a child's life.
Correct.
You
Yes.
know? So I think a parent buy-in to a program is more important almost than the kid because, Frank Martin, who was a Division I coach at South Carolina and a couple other places, he always said that, people talk about, hey, kids have changed. Well, kids haven't changed. Kids know what we teach them, right? So we've changed, right? So if we buy in and as parents and adults, then kids learn that and then they buy in. Does that make sense?
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm with you.
That's kind of where I'm at on it, but
I like that. I like that answer.
Yeah.
I agree. Actually.
Well, and last week, remember Tanner, Nate Herrick, Coach Herrick, saying that he said, the kids haven't changed. He's like, it's the standard that parents have set for the kids.
Yeah, he's absolutely right.
And he did. When he said that, I thought, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, that's just what it is. Like, they're allowing. It's so easy now for them to be like, yeah, Johnny comes home and he's like, oh, I played 4 minutes of the basketball game. Oh, well, yeah, that's never. I just don't like it. We'll go ahead and quit.
Yeah.
I mean, and the longevity of that is, what are they going to do later on when they become an adult? I'll just quit my job, or hey, I don't like John Doe who I work with. I'm going to quit, and they're like, well, how are you going to pay for your house and your mortgage and whatever? So I mean, I feel like it is. I would agree with what you're saying as far as the parents think. The buy-in there is probably the most important.
Yeah. Most what I've experienced at the high school level is kids just want to be involved in that environment and that team.
Yeah.
They want to do it. There's a social aspect to athletics, just like there is any other thing. And I think some of them just want to be involved in that because, rarely do you have, 6 or 7 or whatever, 8, 9 players that are all like going to be D1 athletes, going to put the work in. Some of them are just there to be there.
Right. They're there, and maybe some of them kids have parents that have too high of expectations of their ability sometimes, I think.
Yep.
And probably in their ear, so then
Yes.
it discourages them a little bit when in reality they just probably want to be there, like you said. They just want to be a part of it.
Or brother or sister was a standout in whatever sport, so the younger sibling should be a standout,
Right.
which that's not always the case. Sometimes it's different,
And that could ruin a kid.
Yeah,
Very easily.
With those expectations.
absolutely.
Yeah, you're 100% on the the expectation part.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how people are.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have to pull back sometimes too.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jada, you got to do this, and then I'm like, actually, just try hard. And if you care about it, do it. Like
The media doesn't help either.
no,
It
doesn't.
When you have, I hate to say it, but LeBron James making a spectacle of going from Cleveland to Miami, and then when you're not happy in your situation, you just go somewhere else. So you just do this. I mean, we see plenty of athletes do that on TV, and I think you got kids that do that too. Because for instance, let's just say they're at Clinton and they don't like something. Well, I want to transfer to Northeast, or I want to go to Command, sure, and the parents allow it. Like
It's a lot more. It's a lot more common now.
Let's just do that, and that bothers me a little bit too, because if you're 16 years old, you're in high school and you're an athlete of whatever sort, I mean, why do you get to open enroll somewhere just because I don't like this coach, or I don't like this, I don't like that?
I'm telling you, man, you're a hundo. That's exactly what it is. I mean, again, like I don't get how they can let, and again, you guys are parents and I'm not, but how can you let your kid just say, like, I don't like the coach? Okay, well then, you know what? Go ahead. Like, what are you doing? How is that? As a parent,
it sounds so goofy to even hear, but it's.
I think there's legit reasons for open enrollment. Like, there are legit reasons.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get out of this situation. We need to go here, and that's between a parent and a kid. That's their right. But if it's something petty, like
the sole reason is for sports.
that I struggle with that a little bit.
Right.
But
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I feel like it's and we've kind of talked about it as a whole each time. I feel like it always gets brought up, but I just think that it's.
Well, now the transfer portal too with college stuff. It's like they're like promoting to just go wherever you feel like it will be better for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
And then what if they go there and don't like it? It probably happens often actually.
And there's a couple guys out there. It's like this is the third team playing quarterback.
I know. It's like
is it the team or is it you?
Exactly.
How are you even focusing on school?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And
at that point, like, how do you even get into a groove with school when you're doing that?
You can never. And like, when do you finally look at something and say, it's not the coaches or whatever else, it's you. You're the problem. Yeah. You are the problem. Like, how hard is it to be like, if you think about it now, like as a person or just society in general, a lot of people are super hard to be like, you know what, I just messed up. And I'll fix it. They'll literally, even adults, well, if this wouldn't have happened, this never would have happened. It's like, why can't you just be like, dude, I messed up. I made a dumb decision, whether it's business, whether it's personal. Why can't you just say you messed up, fix it, and move on? Like, society as a whole is now it's very common to be like, well, if John wouldn't have done this and you influenced this, or, well, if I would have, it's like, dude, why can't you just be like, okay, you messed up. At the end of the day, you messed up. Yeah. It's okay. It's part of being human.
Right.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're 14 or 54. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes.
The best way to learn is to fail,
Yes. It is. So, that's the only way to really
to learn truly is
Yeah.
to fail like in the moment type of thing.
Yep.
So
I hundo agree. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
oh baby. So Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
tailgate and tall boys.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm excited for it, man. How about you?
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it'll be all right. You gonna go? I posted a status on Facebook, and Josh Eggers commented, and he said he's thinking about going.
Yeah, I haven't bought tickets yet.
Yeah, well, you should. Where can you get tickets?
No, it is going to be an amazing experience. It's going to be awesome for our community. I always like to highlight this. The chamber has this tourism calculator that they use from the
Right.
state. And just based on conservative numbers we've given them, they're looking at, and this is the most exciting thing to me, not just seeing the artist, but the most exciting thing to me is a $6.5 million economic impact for our community over those 3-4 days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Probably Wednesday through Sunday. We'll say 5 days. We'll give it there. I mean, and we're talking gas stations, restaurants, hotels, whatever other rivals, whatever business,
Anything, yeah.
right?
However,
Absolutely.
anybody wants to take advantage of the situation,
There is-
realistically.
there is going to be downtime where people are going to be in our community waiting for the shows to start. They got to do something,
Eating,
right?
shopping, drinking,
Correct. Yeah.
filling their gas tank up,
Yeah.
whatever.
Absolutely. So to me, that's exciting. I mean, that's going to give a boost to our local economy, which is
Right.
important.
It'll give confidence to a lot of businesses that maybe aren't typically super busy because they're
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see people walking around where you typically don't see people walking around anymore. Because it's gonna happen.
Right.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so that's the most exciting thing to me. But obviously, having the concert series coming here, it's just huge.
It's huge for our city.
It literally puts Clinton on the map for something extremely positive. Not that we don't have a lot of positive things going on, because we do.
There is,
I
yes.
could talk for another hour about that stuff.
But on a big giant scale like this,
Yeah.
there's not really anything.
This is like this is a pop culture
Yeah.
put on the map for something like that.
Yes,
Not
yes.
not like a great business or something. I mean, this is like it's just a different level of what we've done in the past.
And like we've talked about this before, but I know it's not in place of Riverboat Days, and I understand that.
Right.
But I think Riverboat Days was like the biggest festival in Iowa at one point.
It was
which
the
is-
largest 4th of July festival.
That's
in Iowa.
crazy if you think about it, considering like Mississippi Valley Fair
Yeah.
and Iowa State Fair.
Yeah.
But just the fact that we can even get that same type of feeling back in the city and in that area, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean-
I'm most excited about that, I think.
I mean, we literally have Tim McGraw coming to Clinton, Iowa.
I know.
I'm an Indian outlaw.
45 number
I think
one
he's here.
hits.
He's
Yeah.
over there.
There he is. I'm here.
45 number one hits.
Dude, that's nuts.
Right? Movies, TV, all that stuff. I mean, that's the level that we have coming here, and we have 12 touring artists,
Yes.
nationally touring artists. We have 6 of them that could all be headliners. Our direct support and our headliner could all be kind of
Flip-flops. Yeah. And and maybe even at the time when this concert takes place or this festival, some of them will be bigger than they already are.
Right,
So
right. And then we'll have the opportunity. We have 9 slots for local and regional acts.
That's
and
awesome.
those are going to be announced soon once we kind of get the lay of the land all worked out and make sure everybody's available. So
Yeah.
we're going to see local and some regional acts playing on that stage in the festival area too, on stage 2, which is going to be outstanding as well. Yeah. We've got local food vendors that are involved.
I was going to say I saw a post about Taste of Clinton.
Yeah, so obviously a festival that we're expecting 12 to 15,000 people each day.
Sure.
There's a level of output that you have to be able to provide for this type of event,
Of
right?
course, yes.
So the way we kind of worked it is, I'm not saying that our local people can't put that output, because they might be able to, but you can't just roll the dice on something like this, because you got to have food there, right? So we have some national vendors that are coming in, and then the local vendors that we chose are very popular. People are going to like them. It's a diverse group.
Yeah.
There's the donuts. I think Stouts is in there.
I saw Mexi announced. That's who I saw.
Right.
He announced it.
Deanna for coffee.
That's
So
awesome.
so there's a good mix, and there's more in there too. But
And they're going to be like insanely busy.
yeah, they're going to
I
be.
would assume.
It's going to be the
Like-
Taste of Clinton, and they're going to put it together and kind of frame it like that, which is going to be really cool, because
I like it.
people that aren't from our community can come in and taste some local food from folks in our area, which I thought was a really cool idea. And what I really would like is, as these local food vendors in the Taste of Clinton, right? as they get an idea of what it takes to kind of operate in this, I hope that some of the national vendors kind of slide out and our local ones become the big dogs, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in year 2, year 3, or beyond, or something like that. And that's really what I'd like to see. But I think it's going to be really cool.
I'm excited
to have as much local stuff involved as we can.
Of course, and I think probably all of us take it for granted, but. And I'm sure, the guys from USA Concerts probably mentioned this when you guys first started talking about doing this. But, just the scenery and the whole area of where this is going to take place, on the riverfront, it's so cool compared to most places. We just don't, we've always seen it our whole life.
Right.
So we're used to it, and it's whatever. But, if there's going to be a lot of people that probably are coming to Clinton for the first time, and they're going to be like, oh, my God, this is so cool, because it is.
The riverfront was a big draw. So they used to do their tailgate and tallboys in Peoria on the riverfront.
Oh, okay.
And now they moved out to they moved that festival out to Bloomington.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
so
sense.
they could fit about 12,000 people in Peoria, and we have about 3 times the space that they have.
Really?
Or 2 times the space at least.
I bet.
I think it's 3 actually. I think 35,000 is technically our sellout. If we get there, I don't know, but that's our sellout, I guess. So
for one, at one point in time, you mean?
Yeah, each day. Yeah. So, and that would include VIP and general admission and all that stuff. So, it's just.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Hopefully it gets to that point.
A couple people, they think Friday for the Tim McGraw Day, we're going to see 20,000.
Really?
I'm like, I hope so.
Well, somebody just shared a photo of riverboat days from 1991, and I'm just looking at it, and obviously it's from in front of the band shell. It's going to be a little bit different area.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, that's crazy, man. Just how many people? And that was probably only 15,000 maybe?
Yeah, probably.
But
maybe
everybody sat
less.
in lawn chairs then, though. So it kind of pushed back.
There won't be you can bring a lawn chair to this, but you're going to have to sit kind of in the back area because you're not going to get a lawn chair up close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty wild for those 3 days.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
I know you are. Obviously, you put a ton of work into it.
Yeah, and Josh Eggers is he's the staff person that's really doing a lot of work, and it's awesome working with him. He's doing a great job. And
he's the man.
Yeah, having him is very important because I wouldn't be able to do it by myself.
Yeah, that's good.
But we've got some help from other people too. We got a sponsorship team. We got a bar promotion team. So we have some community members that are stepping up to help us out with some different things too, which is exciting.
That's great. And I've seen some negative stuff about it. But those are the people I feel like that are small-minded, not completely, but just about the situation. Yeah. I've seen some musicians mad that it's only country music, but it's good for the city. They just need to be happy because of what it could bring in the future. Who knows? What if this goes amazing? When this goes amazing, I should say. Next year is going to be even more amazing because now everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, they were right. This was awesome.
Right.
So let's do it a little bit bigger next year.
Yeah.
Why not? That's the whole purpose.
That is the purpose. Absolutely. And it's going to change and it's going to evolve. And, I'm not saying that country's not going to dominate it because that's kind of what they do. And
that's how it started anyway.
Right. And and it's also, that's really what sells these days right now. I mean, that's selling really well. So that's what you do. But I think we're going to mix some different genres. I mean, we tried to mix different genres this year. It just turned out that the artist we wanted didn't happen.
I know you did.
Yeah. I tried.
I know. No, it's fine though. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and I learned a lot in that process too. But routing is important, and I can't be there that night, and this and that. So
it's probably going to be like that every year, honestly, with trying to
book. Here's the thing: the more we take care of the artist, the more of a positive experience they have here.
So next year they're like,
then they talk,
go there.
Then they talk to their buds and they say, "Oh, should I go play in Clinton?" Absolutely, you should.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and that's what we want. And hopefully some of our local people that are playing maybe can get some good exposure and then work their way up so that maybe they're a headliner.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
someday.
I can't believe why I would feel like a lot of Clinton people are. I'm not a huge music person. I love music, but I don't stay up to par with it.
Yeah.
But country, I feel like everybody loves country, and that especially around here.
Yeah.
So and Tanner was saying oh, the haters. I feel like that's very common with anything.
Yeah.
There's always one or two people. You can be doing good or bad, and people always talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
And
hopefully
whatever.
it goes good because it's the city's money.
And it's like, okay, here's the thing. Shut up about the city's money, because you know what? It's like when somebody says, I pay your salary. You know what? If you want these services in the city of Clinton or any place in America, that's where your tax dollar goes, so you have a nice city. You have a good police department. You have good roads, all that. These people that say that, it's like, it'd be one thing if you're spending money on something that you're like, this is just a waste of money. Come on, like you just talk about how much money it's going to bring for the businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a city to thrive, you gotta sometimes
Be
step
creative.
outside the box.
Jump
do
out
what
the
you're
box.
doing.
And this is a giant leap for the council to do something like
It is.
this.
I'm sure. Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, we committed, or the council voted to commit $1.5 million to this each year for 3 years, right? Now, I will tell you this: when people we didn't just write a blank check for $1.5 million.
Yeah. No.
We've only put $500,000 in right now.
Yeah.
And we might, if ticket sales go the way we want them to, we might not put another dime in of our money, and it's all working off ticket sale money, and then revenue comes back.
I mean, that's kind of ideal.
Yeah.
I was at that meeting when they all approved it.
Yeah.
And that'd be cool if that happens.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we'll probably have to put a little bit more in, but it's not going to be another million.
Right.
You know, I don't think we'll get to that 1.5.
Right.
No.
And then we grow this thing and we make it better, and maybe we add a fourth day to it. You know, because we could do a Wednesday through Saturday. You know,
It's also those people I keep saying, well, I'm not going to Clinton, I'm going to Bloomington. I'm like, well, the reason why Bloomington has good acts, and Clinton does also, especially for year one, but they've been doing it there longer. Like, you know, that's their baby, I'm pretty sure. That's like their
it's
original.
their second year there this year.
But you said they moved it from
They
Peoria.
went from Peoria
So, like,
there,
it's kind of that, say, it all
Sure.
is the same, in my opinion. You know, so, but, like, maybe next year Clinton will have you can't ever make everybody happy. So I don't even know what I'm getting at. Nobody's ever going to be completely happy. So.
You know, and we're a week before Bloomington.
Yeah.
So we have some artists that overlap, and we'll probably always have that.
Yes.
But we really concentrated to try to make our headliners and our lineups different. And if you look at the two festivals, we're different.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
And it's enough to where, like, well, I could go to both, you know, or whatever. So
Did you guys have to, I don't know the word, route or plan with, like, Mississippi Valley Fair, too? Did you guys talk to him to make sure you guys weren't booking the same artists and stuff?
yeah, so they actually got one of the artists that we wanted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we tried to get Hardy.
Oh.
And they got him.
Oh.
So
Well, you guys are probably like, well,
it is what it
we're not
is,
going to
right?
take everything you guys want.
Right. So they know the guy that works down there, and he's absolutely willing. Actually, they're helping us on
His name
some stuff.
Scott Loader or something?
I don't remember
Sean.
for sure.
Sean Loader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've talked to him a couple
So they've talked to him, and they're going to work. We're going to work with the fair because they want us to be successful. We want them to be successful, obviously, and being in such close proximity. But like something simple as like the tubs to hold the beer in at the bar.
Yeah.
They're going to loan us those.
That's
so
cool.
that we can use
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Or maybe a small fee or something like that,
That's
I
cool.
guess. So, like, they're willing to help us on that
Yeah,
front. And,
that's awesome.
And then we can help them if we need to. And then, you know, hopefully, you know, we can work together and in tandem and make both. I mean, obviously, the Mississippi Valley Fair is a pretty strong festival, but it's a little different than us.
Right.
Because
It
they're
is.
like a headliner every night. That's it.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
we have like a whole day.
You
know,
got
for
a
it's
bunch
a
of different
different-
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
makes sense.
like JP sent his headline in one night.
Yeah. I'll be out there. I'll make you guys some money.
He'll
I
be-
can
You know,
do. I
he'll
can
be-
do funny stuff.
he'll be
Speaking-
dancing.
I mean, I said it earlier, but Limp Bizkit, I can't wait to go see
That's
them
going to be
down
sweet.
there.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to try to get them in Clinton. I thought that'd be cool, and then they booked him for the fair. I'm like, apparently that was a
Yeah.
great. It was
They
a
were-
great idea.
They were in
Yeah.
your mind.
Yeah. So.
He's old school. What was it? Hey, what was the song? I did it all for the nookie.
Yep.
Yeah. Or
Yep.
rolling. Keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
I had that
rolling.
CD. I used to jam that.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
So I don't know. I think it's just gonna be cool. It's gonna be exciting, and we're gonna have some hiccups, and we're gonna have some learning moments.
Of course.
But people just got to be patient with us. As far as how the music festival runs, there's nothing's going to be a hitch there. These
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah, that's
got it.
A1 for sure.
Those guys got it. That's why we're working with them.
But
If-
you mean more like the just the things of how
logistics,
things work.
logistics,
Yeah.
how you get people there,
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff like that. That's going to be
Maybe next year, like, we should have put this a little bit over this way, or
right.
Know,
And
who
that,
knows?
we even talk like we have to be ready to adjust for Friday. Like if Thursday, if something's not quite working, we got to be able to adjust
Right.
for Friday
Yeah.
or
Gotta
Saturday.
be a
you
little
know?
flexible.
Yeah, so we're going to be ready for that, which is stuff that we've talked about. And we're going to have a lot of public meetings coming up to give people information if they have questions and things like that.
Yeah,
That's
But
good.
yeah, it's going to be wild for 3 days, which is a good thing. I think it's going to be, a very, very positive experience for everybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the bottom line is like it's just, to me, it just mind boggles me when people, like, Tanner was saying like, oh, you can never make everybody happy, which everybody knows that. It's something the first time you're doing something. Like, if you have a brain that functions, you know that there's going to be things that have to be tweaked the next year, the next time you do it. It's part of life. The first time you do something, you always have the hiccups. But it's crazy how these people who, I will say, because I like to be somewhat controversial, they're uneducated. They don't want to be educated. Like, even when you're talking about like spending the money, it's like these people don't even understand how it works, what goes into the dynamics of what you're doing. They just like, "Whoa, you're spending my money." It's like, well, actually, no, it's really not that way. But people don't want to be educated, so it's like you're doing something that is going to benefit this entire city as a whole.
Tourism is part of what we spend dollars on. This is tourism.
Yeah.
And
To
you're
the extreme. And it's great.
It is.
So, and again, if you're a citizen and you care about the city, you want it to thrive.
Well, these same citizens that are like kind of in a weird way rooting it for it to fail because they want to be like, I told you so. They're the same ones like, there's never anything to do in Clinton. So it's,
I learned and I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I learned, doing the mayor thing that I don't have time for negativity.
yes.
No,
And
you don't.
if people are negative, if you have a legit problem, like say your trash didn't get picked up right or whatever, and you're being a little negative about it, okay, we'll solve your problem.
Right.
We're good. But people that are just, like you said, that are secretly rooting for this to fail and they're being negative, it's like, I don't have time for you.
Yeah.
Just keep your opinions to yourself because you're the vocal minority.
Right.
And the silent majority,
Yes.
they're pumped.
They are. Even though, like you said, you're right. The people that won't say much are like, hey, if you asked them, they'd be like, oh, that's great. And again, you just always have the people that, like you said, I mean, we focus so much on negativity now in life. I think besides with social media and the news and everything is they want to show you all the junk that's going on that's bad. It's like, hey, there's actually a lot of things that are good that are going on. Focus on that. And if you're going to be negative, then guess what? Get out, because nobody, even in your personal life, would you want if your family's negative, you cut them out. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah.
If family's negative, bye. I don't need that. And why would you want that personally or professionally? That's what hinders people.
Yeah. It drags me down. And I just, I got,
You get too much
I
going
got a busy schedule. I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't have time for that stuff.
Yeah, man.
I posted a little preheat. I just wanted to see, like, hey, who's going to tailgate Tall Boys yesterday?
Yeah.
And I have there's 90 comments of and it's mainly all positive. There was a couple people that are like, I'm not, but whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, so I thought that was cool to see that because it was announced how long ago? Months ago. The lineup was announced months ago. So I was just curious because I wanted to see kind of let's do it from my perspective on my page and see what people say. So it was cool to see so many people like yeah.
When I first announced it on the mayor's Facebook page when I put it out there, you can see how many people you've reached. Right. It was like over 40,000 people that post reached.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And I was thinking I'm never gonna be this cool ever again.
Yeah.
That's I peaked.
Yeah.
I peaked.
top of the line there.
You peaked at what, 30, 38?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No. Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know?
I haven't confirmed it for sure, but I'm pretty confident I'm the youngest mayor we've ever had in the city of Clinton.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm number 65.
Really?
Really?
Yep, 65th mayor.
So it was foliage, and then before that was a Lametta Win?
No. Roger Holm.
Oh, that's right.
Before her.
Yeah.
Lametta Win finished her term in 2012.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, maybe 2012.
Yeah. Because we
that.
went to
Or
Ryan
2008.
Wynn, we went to
2008 or
school with him.
2012. I can't remember.
He's good stuff. And my grandma was Grandma Leahy, who's, God, she's like 90-some years old. She was a nurse with the mayor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, my grandma used to. I remember back in the day, she's like, and because me and Ryan went to school together, like 5th grade, and we hung out quite a bit. And she was like, oh, she was the the nicest lady, a great nurse, and I always heard a lot of, and I feel like at that time, she did a lot of good things, and she was kind of iconic. for the city.
She's
you
the
know?
the first female African American mayor in the
Yes.
state of Iowa.
That's
The longest tenured mayor we've ever had. 12 years is the longest mayor we've ever had.
Okay.
So she was the longest there, and she did that Vision Iowa project. So if you drive down on Riverfront, and you put her name on all the projects down there that she was responsible for getting this big grant for, her name would just be everywhere. Because the renovations to the ballpark and the marina stuff. And, and
that was all her?
All that stuff.
That's cool.
They got this big Vision Iowa grant, which was a huge tourism grant, and they did all that. I can't even name everything that's down there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean that was huge for us.
cool.
It kind of completely redeveloped or redesigned the riverfront, which is our biggest asset.
Absolutely.
That we need to use more than we do. But yeah, I mean it's
Well, hey, we're gonna June
Yeah.
8th, 9th, and 10th, baby.
yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
That's awesome.
I do hope we get to 15,000 people a day. I think it'll be wild.
Yeah.
So
Well, it'll be 14,999 because I'm not going. Just kidding.
Wow.
Oh,
no,
man.
I'm not going.
Listen, I'm drinking all the beer they got there, so it doesn't really matter.
You're gonna tailgate with all the tall boys or what?
you gonna buy a VIP ticket?
VIP, and I'm gonna be on stage. I'm gonna tell you that one way or the other, it doesn't matter.
You're gonna be on stage?
Hey, if you have the option, are you taking your shirt off or your pants? Which one?
I don't know. How much beer I drink, we'll find out.
Oh,
One way or
jeez.
the other, it's not going to be a sight. It
Oh,
will not be
jeez.
a sight that anybody really wants to see if it doesn't.
I'll have my binoculars, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. You'll be
I
watching.
can't-
I get you.
Yeah. It's gonna be busy. I can't wait to watch it from the front of the house area.
Hopefully, you get to actually take it in a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
Are you
I
gonna
will.
make sure you do?
Oh yeah.
Good.
No. They said we've already talked about that.
Good.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff that Josh and I are gonna be working on and we have to do. But we're gonna be able to enjoy the concert, and
That's good.
they do the same thing. They said
Kind of
we have
rotate.
to.
Be like, okay, now it's your turn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's going to say yes, but we invited the governor for Tim McGraw night. The chamber bought a diamond box in the VIP area, so we invited her and her husband, the lieutenant governor, and
That'd be cool.
when they were here and I invited them in person, she was like, "We're in." And I was like, okay. She goes, but you got to send a note to my assistant so we
Yeah.
can get it on the calendar. So just waiting back to hear from them because
That'd be cool.
We're hoping that's a political move.
Yeah.
Right.
I see
come
it.
see Tim McGraw.
I see you.
Will she need security? Because you could hire me. I'll be private security for her.
I don't know how that'll work.
You ain't gonna pay me. Just pay me in beer.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll want the guy.
Get drunk and guard the governor.
No, not pay me in beer. Like,
Look at
no,
this
I'm
guy.
Not, that's
Look at
not
this
what I'm not saying while I'm doing security.
I got
like, as
you.
a payment.
Hey, you need anything?
Man.
Spilling beer all over and stuff.
Just dropping it. No, I meant like, hey, afterwards you give me beer. Like, give me a year's supply of beer. I don't care.
Your
right?
supply
Whatever.
of beer. No, so I just thought it was cool to invite them. So we're hoping
Yeah.
that they come too, because, a lot of Des Moines folks don't get to the east side very often.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get them out here and show them a
go.
good time, and yeah, it'd be cool.
Oh, baby.
I like it, baby.
Yeah. She
I
was
love
always
it.
at all the concerts at the Iowa State Fair, so I figured, like, who wouldn't want to come see Jody Messina and Tim McGraw
All right.
and
And it's a
Jaco
first.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll be here.
Yeah.
I'll be taking a selfie with her.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
You should be like, yeah, do not post that.
And the one
I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just joking.
The one
dude.
thing we don't ever talk about too is we have Trailer Trash Tammy as the host.
That's super cool.
You know?
Somebody they said that on my status.
Chelsea Lynn.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Chelsea Lynn.
Is it who I think it is? Trailer,
Trailer Trash Tammy.
the one who does it with Donnie Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she's our host.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's gonna be super cool.
I'm gonna
if
be
it's
there.
the theme.
I will be there.
They're like we weren't really sure about how your community would react, so we told her to be like PG-13 this first year, and I'm like, let her rip, man.
Yeah, let her go,
And
man.
he goes,
People like
seriously?
that.
I was like, yeah, let her rip.
Yeah, it's got to have the whole effect. It ain't tailgating in Tallboy NA. We're going.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, yeah,
Go
let's
big or go home.
We're
man.
rocking and rolling,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. So.
You know what? I like where your mind's at. You know, you go big or go home. That's what you got to do. Bring
Give-
some in like this. You just got to
the whole
roll
experience.
with it. Yeah.
You know, real quick, I don't know how much time we got left, but the whole process, how this happened, is so Josh and I we were talking like how to use the riverfront, and I was like, man, we should book bands in the stadium because the Lumber Kings have half the games,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Like Josh is like, well, let's get the Trippin' Billies, they're the Dave Matthews tribute band,
Yeah.
in the stadium, and we'll just see if we can get people in there. I was like, okay. So I was talking to a guy that kind of is in the music area and was like, hey, how do you how do you do this? Like, how do you know? And he's like, oh, you should get this festival, Tailgating Tall Boys. And I was like, what? And he called Red Hot Brian Scott, and they gave me Wayne's email, and I emailed Wayne. Wayne's like, yeah, I'll come meet you in like 2 days. So I was like, okay.
So it was very like just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and he comes to City Hall, and he's just like, all right. And I had like a team of like 12 people, and it was just him, and he walks in, and he's like, I'm like, hey, this is my team.
That's awesome.
And he's like, okay. So he was here for like 6 hours. Turns out
Did you guys go like visit the whole?
We went down there. We walked through the snow on the site because it was like February.
Oh, was it?
So we were walking through the snow. We went to Candlelight, had some food, did all that stuff. He's a former business partner with Matt Prescott, who owns Candlelight. Wayne is. So he's been to Clinton, so he knew kind of the area a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
And then he went back to his people and came back. He's like, hey, man, we can't do the whole thing, but we could do 50-50. And it was like, okay. And
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do it.
That's awesome.
here we are.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of one of those things that was the right place at the right time. And now we've got this great thing coming, and we're a 3-year contract, and hopefully it's much longer than that.
Are you guys doing radio ads and like TV ads and stuff?
So TV is already rocking on MediaCom.
Okay.
We actually are finalizing a package with WLLR for radio.
Good.
So actually,
I was curious.
We have a phone call tomorrow morning to finalize that package.
Nice.
So
I was hoping so.
you're going to see that. There's other radio stations that they're engaging too that are in the. So basically, they're going to market within a 150-mile radius.
Like a bubble? Yeah.
Yep. And then expect that people will drive within a 60 to 80-mile radius, but some longer than that. So it's pretty cool. I mean, we've got 34% of our campsites are sold.
That's pretty good.
I thought that's pretty good for being February, right?
Right.
So that's really good. And then, we're just going to try to rip ticket sales if we can.
Yeah,
And
especially with how it seems like these days everything's so last minute. So
yeah.
I feel like, it's going to get a little closer and the ticket sales are going to go.
They say that because I'm like looking at ticket sales and I'm like, guys, how are we doing? They're like, relax, stop looking at it every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But so
it's tough though. I know.
It is. Yeah.
It's like that when I have a concert, dude. It's like the ticket sales are just crazy.
Yeah.
No.
It makes you nervous.
Just kidding. No,
You know where you need to go, though? You need to go to First Choice Insurance.
Ooh.
For all your home, life, auto, business, and much more. You know where they're at?
Where?
410 South 2nd Street.
Yep.
You can hit my boy Andrew Wood, 563-241-2341. He'll hook you up. Get an appointment. If you don't, I'm going to hunt you down, and I'm going to bring you down there by myself. So
By the ear.
First Choice Insurance, baby.
So, anyways, Honeywell Heroes, episode 12. If you want to check us out, you can go to honeywellheroes.com or go on YouTube, search us. YouTube is the only place you can see the podcast in a video form. Otherwise, we're on all the other major platforms for podcasts. Tell your friends about us. Tell your grandma and your mama and your dad and uncles. Tell everybody about us because that's the only way that we can spread to the world. Anyways, we appreciate it. 12 episodes. That's like how many hours? We're probably at about 15 total hours, something like that.
We're about an hour and 15 every single time.
Yeah. So it's like watching the Titanic 5 times in a row if you watched all our episodes. You think people would do it?
I mean, I think they just watch it for that part where I'll never let go, Jack. But here's the thing. Let's go.
I know.
So it's like,
well, hopefully you guys never let go of us.
Do not let go of us. And the mayor, Scott Madison.
Random Tanner JP.
The mayor, the man, the myth, the legend.
The most famous guy here.
And we got him for, guess what, guys? Free. Nothing.
My agent will invoice you.
All right, man. Hey, we're going to cut this episode. We're done. This never happened.
See you guys.
Take care.